Good afternoon. My name is Bill Michael, and it's my privilege to be the Executive Director of the Riva and David Logan Center for the Arts. We are thrilled to be partnering with the Poetry Foundation, Illinois Humanities, and Books Permissions on this incredible event. We opened our doors 10 years ago, and I hope in that time we've become an important home for the arts and creativity at the University of Chicago and on the south side of Chicago. Not only do we celebrate the incredible work of our faculty and students, but by partnering with great organizations like these, we've had the opportunity to celebrate the voices of so many youth and artists across the artistic disciplines. We've also been thrilled over the last 10 years to be able to celebrate and honor the incredible work of Gwendolyn Brooks. And we're thrilled to once again be partnering on this event and think about the incredible impact that youth have in the creativity of this great state. As part of the 5th anniversary celebration, I'd like to read a poem by 8th grader Libby Dilley from Franklin Middle School in Springfield, Illinois. It was a poem that was selected in 2018. The Voice. So much depends upon one individual voice, standing outside of the box, waiting to be heard. This afternoon, you're going to hear an incredible array of voices from many artists of many ages who are excited to be heard. I hope in a small way the Logan Center has helped lift up voices through poetry, music, dance, performance, and film, and so many other great artistic creativity. It's so great to have you join us. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great afternoon.
Hi. I'm Gabrielle Lyon, the Executive Director of Illinois Humanities, and on behalf of our whole team and the state, welcome to everyone here to celebrate the 2021 awardees of this year's Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Awards. To all of the young writers who submitted to this year's contest, wow. Wow is what describes your work, from the silly to the profound. Thank you, because we received nearly 400 submissions from 75 schools all around the state, and you are capturing this moment like no other people can. I really want to thank our partners here at the Logan Center for the Arts, the Poetry Foundation, and Brooks Permissions. All of us are working together to put this program on and to celebrate your work. This is a thing I believe about poetry. It helps us be more human. I'm late to the world of poetry, and what I've learned is poetry helps us think about who we are, helps us connect to the world around us, helps us make sense of things that are changing, and helps remind us about the things we care about that stay the same. So for all the poets, again, thank you. And for the poems you're about to hear, if you're with us today, think about the themes you're hearing: family, friendship, community. The thing I think is most powerful about our young poets is that they're asking us to pay attention to social injustice, to tragedy, but also to the power of joy that's in our everyday lives. These poems, the youth poetry competitors, they're a powerful testament to the enduring legacy of poets like Gwendolyn Brooks, who was one of our first Illinois poet laureates, and our current poet laureate, Angela Jackson. These are people, like the other adults you'll hear from today, who believe that one of the most important things we can do on behalf of young people is to give them poetry. Congratulations to this year's winning poets, to the honorable mentions. Thank you to the teachers and families who are here to celebrate them today. In celebration of the 5th anniversary of the Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Competition, we are all reading poems. So I get to pick one of my favorite poems, and I'm going to pick a poem that was a winner last year. It's called I Want a Cat. It's by Sally Weinberg of Evanston, and she entered as a 2nd grader. Actually, Sally, I want you to know you inspired me to get a cat. So thank you. That's what poetry can do. It can inspire us to take action. Here's the poem. I want a cat. Let's get a dog. I want a cat. Let's get a fish. I want a cat. Let's get a bird. I want a cat. Let's get a puppy. I want a cat. Let's get a hamster. Too much work. I don't want a pet at all. It will be too much work. Thank you so much for your work, and thank you for being with us today.
Hello, I'm Michelle Boone, president of the Poetry Foundation, and it is my pleasure to congratulate all of this year's Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Award winners. All of our student competitors demonstrated their openness to the power of poetry and their commitment to developing skills that allow them to share that power with those around them. You all have done a remarkable thing, and I hope that you are as proud of yourselves as we are of you. Every student who submitted a poem for this competition lives in the legacy of Miss Brooks, who wrote in her poem, The Chicago Picasso, "Art urges voyages." You, all of you, are on your way to many voyages, and I hope that you keep poems close along the way. Like second grader Emma Balsarak's winning poem says, "Poems are everywhere and will stay." I thank all of you for sharing your poetry with us and encourage you to continue exploring our world via poems. I also want to thank the teachers who make this program possible. Your dedication is emblematic of poetry's capacity to connect us on a human level. Thank you. And again, a very special congratulations to our Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Award winners.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Emily Hooper-Lansana, and I work here at the Riva and David Logan Center for the Arts as Senior Director of Community Arts. And it is my joy to work in partnership with our community to celebrate ways that the arts give us insight and vision. And today, we are celebrating the legacy of Gwendolyn Brooks as it continues in the voices of these award-winning young poets. We're going to start out with the young poets in grades K through 3. And as we prepare to hear them, I wanted to start with a quote from Miss Brooks. "Very early in life, I became fascinated with the wonders language can achieve. And I began playing with words. Listen to the ways that these young people capture wonder as they play with words." Thank you.
I like to play with my brother.
I like to play with my brother.
We like to jump off the top bunk
We like to jump off the top bunk
onto pillows and blankets.
under pillows and blankets.
You get to make funny sounds.
Funny sounds
You get to make funny movements.
and funny movements.
When I do a ninja jump from the top bunk,
When I do a ninja jump from the top bunk,
I hit my head on the ceiling,
hit my head on the ceiling,
but it doesn't hurt.
but it doesn't hurt.
I'm Lucy and I'm 6.
My favorite tree.
My favorite tree, it has white flowers. The leaves are green and maybe a little big.
I like to climb it.
I like to climb it.
It's just down the block.
It's just down the block.
I walk by it sometimes.
I walk by it sometimes. The bulk is smooth.
And I'm really good at climbing.
And I'm really good at climbing. I can see my house from up there.
My name is Finn McGuire, and I will read my poem. Yesterday I saw a neighbor. Yesterday I saw a neighbor with a big scar on his face. He was in front of his house. I said hi. He didn't say anything. He just waved. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't think you wanted to talk about it. I can tell it's an old scar. My mom said that he probably got burnt. I feel wonder when I wonder how he got that scar.
The Creature by Madeline Hyde. High up in the sky, I fly, activating every seagull on the beach, scared out of their feathers. Wind whistles through my ears as I plummet. Kaboosh! I clash with my prey. What am I?
Madeline Sears. I'm 8. I love my home because it special because it has animals and it has lots of bugs and it has food. And the food I like is bananas and apples and pancakes. My home has 4 people who love me. Grandma and Grandpa and my dad and me. I love them too.
Hello, my name is Emma Balsrek and I attend 2nd grade at Sor Juana Classical Elementary School. The name of my poem is called Poems. Words dancing on the page, dancing in the script. Loving words, strong feelings. Can be about lots of subjects in one. Can be about one thing in many words. Some can be about feelings, some can be about thoughts. Poems over here, poems over there. Poems are everywhere and will stay. Bye.
Dear Piece of Paper by Max Steinhammer, 9 years old. Can you stop cutting my finger? It hurts so bad. Also, can you stop messing up my drawing? Can you change your clothes because white is super boring? Can you get sicker because when I used paint on you, it went through you and I got it on the rug and I got in trouble? I have a question. How do you keep duplicating yourself so you have like 100 billion of you? See you soon and I hope you get sicker. Max.
I'm Lise Brand. I'm 9 years old. Shortcut. Reaching for rigid branches that cause your fingers to ache. Standing on a limb that can support your weight. Barely. You stretch yourself to snapping point. Throw your legs up, 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 only to feel them crash down, down, down. Suddenly you see a shortcut. A branch strong yet so hard to see. You slide forward, pulling yourself up and... yes! You reach the top, sun peeking through the clouds, bliss blossoming through your body. But then, there's always getting down.
Hello, my name is Nora Brooks Blakely. 5 fantastic years. What a moment for celebration. My mother's Illinois Poet Laureate Awards lasted for 31 years. When I heard a new award might follow in her footsteps and be named in her honor, I was ecstatic. The Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Awards. Thank you, Illinois Humanities. Thank you, Poetry Foundation. These awards give us all a chance to listen, to hear the murmurs, roars, and exaltations of itty-bitties, tweens, and teens. Gwendolyn Brooks listened. In classrooms, at signings, or lecture halls, my mother would read and then stay until every book or piece of paper had been signed and every eager voice had been heard. Sometimes she would offer sage advice on the world, like in her poem, Speech to the Young, Speech to the Progress Toward, when she says, even when you are not ready for day, it cannot always be night. But mostly, she listened. Actively. This is your chance to listen. Here are a few morsels from last year's awardees. Listen to Joy and Freedom, Ice Rink by Luke Hong, 2nd grade. Little boys and girls twirling around to the jazzy, funky, and playful sound. Imagination by Tal Margot Neiman, 4th grade. She swims in the air, flies in the sea, leaps onto the lemony drops of golden rain. Climbing Trees by Nico Crabtree, 9th grade. Trees where my small feet can push off the dry moss and fly like dust, becoming one with the streaming air I breathe. Listen to Thoughts You Never Had. $2 by Data Hunting, kindergarten. There were $2. They had a conversation about their feelings. I still want to know what they talked about. On Etching Your Legacy by Annika Pfister. Make each straight palm tree bow so its bark gets a backache. Crush beach rocks until they match the texture and color of your skin. Listen to Sadness and Rage. 2020 by Sophia Maman, 8th grade. If loneliness had a scent, it would be harsh smoke and sweet roses, the sound of laughter from afar, and the sight of cars driving away, a community of people who don't know each other's names. How I Use My Black Privilege by Daisha Strait, 11th grade. So I seasoned this word with lemon pepper and liberation and cook it so hot that it burns my tongue like whips enclosed in white knuckles. Listen, because this is where we find inspiration. My name is Madison, and yours probably is too, by Madison Snigowski, 11th grade. Next time you find yourself trapped in the prison that is your identity, remember that the cage that confines us does not define us. We are what makes us feel free. These are just a few words from a fragment of the hundreds, the thousands, the millions of young voices that hope we hear them. And you must listen, because if you're not listening to young people, why should they listen to you?
I guess I'd better offer you We Real Cool. Most young people know me only by that one. I don't mean that I dislike it, but I would prefer it if the textbook compilers and the anthologists would assume that I've written a few other poems. I wrote it because I was passing by a pool hall in my community one afternoon during school time, and I saw therein a little bunch of boys, I say here in this poem 7, and they were shooting pool. But instead of asking myself, why aren't they in school? I ask myself, I wonder how they feel about themselves. The pool players, 7 at the Golden Shovel. We real cool, we left school, we learn late, we strike straight, we sing, sin, we thin gin, we jazz June, we die soon.
We're real cool. We left school. We learned late. We strike straight. We sing sin. We sing sin. We binge. We jazz June. We jazz June. We die soon.
Super black space, black
school,
black summer, black and shine, black double black and
we strike straight,
black like the moon in
we
high,
sing,
black super black space,
we binge,
black summer, black and shine,
we jazz June,
black double black and
we die soon.
I hope you all are inspired as I am listening to the words of these young poets and to the way that they are helping us to see things perhaps a little differently. It's so important to have the opportunity to come together, and we can thank technology for the opportunity to come together in new and different ways. Rather than thinking that our world is getting smaller, it feels like we are expanding. And we are now ready to move on to hear the young people in the intermediate grades. And I wanted to start again with a quote from Miss Brooks that says, "I've always thought of myself as a reporter." Poetry has given these young people a wonderful way to report on what they are seeing around the world and sometimes even inside of themselves. Let's listen.
Far, far away. Far, far away, there is rich soil, mountain peaks and caves. There's a mountain town. The shadows of skyscrapers. Open meadows with dandelions, mist on volcanoes. There's smoking ash, red flags bursting out. There are tree houses, waffles and wild mushrooms. On the snow days, there are snow angels. And on the happy days, there are yellow brick roads and nuts and bolts.
When Night Comes By, written by Evangeline Huangbo. On a silent, melancholy night, as the stars shine, the light soars through the placid, dark blue night. Whoosh. The dark night is like an abyss in the sky above us, but the light fills the seams in this dark and gloomy world. The moon is as shy as a newborn baby and hides from our sight. In the dark it hums its sweet song filled with joyfulness. Soon the dark will disappear into the vivid light of the sun. The sun will rise up against the evil in this world, but the evil will rise again every day and battle for control over the world.
Hi, I'm Sadie Howitt, and I'm 11 years old, and this is my poem, Breathe. Raspy voice, in need of air, screaming for life, knee in his neck. He sees the flashing lights of an officer's car, but they are not protecting. The lights are fading. The man on the ground screams, "I can't breathe." Phones, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat,
exploding. Crowds gather, screaming too. They try and try, horrified at the sight before their eyes. They record for evidence and scream to try to save his life. He can't breathe. On their phones, people miles and miles away, stunned at what they see. They stare and stare. Wait, what? Play that again. Could this really be? They comment and repost and say, "Let him breathe." News screens, TVs, booming with the news. You can't turn away if you want to. The sight will be in your memory till your last days. You will never forget when you said, "Why won't they let him breathe?" This man had a name, George Floyd. This man had a family. He had a life, but the police did not care. They didn't care what his mom would think, his daughter, his friends. They took his life for no reason. Careless, evil, cruel, un-American. So we march, we sit, we make the signs for freedom, for equality. We feel the rock in our souls like this knee in his neck. Chanting, changing, taking charge. Be angry, but stay peaceful. Be sad, but stay hopeful. We will overcome this. One day, someday, still far, far away. But we will fight for what is right. We hold our breath for justice.
Hello, my name is Megan Pham, and I'm 11 years old. The Moonlight Shadow. Its vitality is immaculate and idyllic. It looks like the serene lamp on my bedside table. I float on the ocean waves, moving up and down with the soft current. The wind wraps around my body like a blanket. Splish splash. My feet run through the water like a cheetah with felicity, leaving behind wet traces that have imprinted into the soaked sand. Good night, oh good night, dear one. If you are ever looking for me, I'll be beneath the moonlight shadow, thinking about all the things I could do once I wake up again.
My name is Maya Sionka, and I'm 12 years old. Why am I the enemy? I used to be a normal kid, but now for some reason I am forbidden from my accustomed life of an immigrant family. Why was I sent away? Why don't I have a permanent home or anything that I once owned? I used to play, but now my world is gray, like the wire keeping me inside this prison. Why am I surrounded by guards and fences? Where did I go wrong to be sent to this dreary, dark place? And why are only people like me here? It feels like forever ago when I could play freely without someone taking me to do chores and work. Why did my normal life need to change? Why do I feel strange, like I'm sitting on pins and needles while alone and isolated? Now seeing people suffer is my normality. Pow! A loud boom takes away my friends, and now all I have left is my broken family and the little yellow ball. I once smiled and laughed, now I feel like a wolf pup separated from the pack, scared to take another step into the world.
Nature's Wind Chime by Kira Dolph, age 12. This poem is dedicated to my Uncle Brian. Clouds swarm the sky, choking the sun, squeezing it into a small blob until it vanishes. Lightning cracks the sky in two, glowing a sharp white, splitting the air like a kitchen knife. Rain drip, drip drops down my car window, freckling the glass for mere seconds before jetting across the shield and then pushed off with guarding wipers. Tall buildings, black and gloomy, fading into the rain, fog lassoing the structures, mist purring at their feet. Roots latch onto the soil as the gust of wind tugs at the trunk, failing to pry the tree from its underground scalp. Puddles create mirrors for the storm to double, trampled upon by wheels and shined on by headlights. Thunder boom, boom, booming, bouncing off the slanting water droplets, careening through the air. Hair wet like a mop, just submerged in a cleaning product, shivering bodies huddled underneath plastic umbrellas. Water tinks at my shingles and trickles through the gutters, running in a race like a water slide. The heavy racket outside, slick streets, damp grass, soaked jackets, whistling wind, and tapping water droplets, flapping leaves, and flashing lightning give a peaceful harmony to the earth. It is nature's wind chime.
Hi, my name is Belinda Victoria Salamanca. I'm 13 years old, and this is my reading of Motherhood and Lipstick. My mother wasn't fond of the way I wore lipstick. She said it was clumpy and went over my lips, and she was correct. My mother wore red lipstick on dates with my father. These are the days I wish she'd come home sooner. Stuffed animal in hand, I stayed up, just as I stayed up to write this. I always wondered what this lipstick was made out of. Lucky for me, it was made out of the same thing all mothers wear on their lips. The reasons mothers did anything or yell at the child the way they do, love. We put pressure on love to be a lot of things, and we confide in love for reasons for pain, no matter how much it hurts. We refuse to stop loving. That's when the love turns passive. We refuse to say the words, I don't love you anymore. Every lipstick that is worn is bold and passive in fear of not loving. Sadly for my mother, her mom's lipstick was rough on her, so my mom learned to put lipstick on herself and promised to teach her daughters. Her daughters didn't like the way their mother did lipstick, as no one taught her, and just as their mother, so did they. They learned to put on lipstick by herself. Instead, I'll let my daughter figure out how she wants to wear her lipstick. I never did end up perfecting my lipstick, but I perfected my lip liner, overlined my lips with power to come that I was robbed from because generations of mothers with clumpy lipstick.
Hi, I'm Maddie Lehman. I'm 12 years old. I'm entering 7th grade in the fall, and here is my poem. On the absence of wind. The branches lay still, and the once rattling coffee mug shakes to a stop. The biting wind was once ravaging, but now gone, like the eye of the hurricane. Everything is quiet, still, at a standstop. The car is miraculously slow to a halt. The birds don't make a peep. The flickering welcome sign on the 7-Eleven stops and becomes an eerie glow. I hold my breath as to not disturb this peace. What a feat, no wind in the windy city for a breath of time. A simple understanding in the big and bright city. But then, a car zooms down the street, another honks their horn. The sign on the 7-Eleven flickers again. The once red traffic light changes back to green, and the wind picks up. I exhale. So much for this moment of peace. The world keeps spinning once more. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Angela Jackson, and I am the present Poet Laureate of Illinois. It is my honor to speak to you today, to share a poem for young poets, the Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Awards. This poem says hello to the poet you are. This poem is young and wise. You are a poem laughing like the open, deep sky at night or morning. You are a poem weeping like the rain, mooning like the moods of the moon. You are a poem flying free like dark birds of the air. You are a poem rising like a mountain to touch yourself laughing like the sky. You write this poem of who you are. This poem is love, is you reaching out to everyone, and you will never be erased, and you will last and last. Now I have some important things to share with you. When you are young and gifted as you are, the world belongs to you. When you are young, the world is yours. When you are poets, The world is yours to shape anew, because poets see things in a new way, and poets, by saying things in a new way, cause other people to see things in a new way. Poets use nomo, the power of words, to make things change. Nomo, word magic, changes things. We speak, we sing a world of our own. In our world, people show love and respect for each other. In our world, the earth is loved and respected and taken care of. Poems in word magic teach us a new way of being. We are the Olympiads who each earn a gold and embrace each other as friends. Let us step inside poems as they guide us in a new way of seeing. Let us hold each other with respect and equality, no matter our race or gender. Let us love the earth, our home, and all its creatures. Let us stand in awe and respect of the many moons, stars, and planets. Happy each of us to be a star shining in the light of poems. I was riding along a street on the south side of Chicago when I saw a sign on a school that said, "Success is not measured in the money you make, but in the people whose lives you touch." May you and your poems, like the great poet laureate Gwendolyn Brooks, touch many lives and make them golden. May you, as she was known, be excellent and generous. Be kind, write with beauty, dreams, and honesty. Pay attention to life and love every minute of it, the salt and the sweet. May you go on for years and years. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Annika Pfister, and I'm a past winner of the Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Awards. In celebration of our 5th anniversary, this year we would like to acknowledge several teachers, schools, and poetry clubs that have been committed to working with young writers to help them submit their poems to the contest each year. Thank you for your commitment to the power of poetry. Thank you for investing in the creative expression of young people. And thank you for teaching us all how important it is to see and experience the world through the words of our youth.
Gwendolyn Brooks has said, "I felt that I had to write. Even if I had never been published, I knew that I would go on writing, enjoying it and experiencing the challenge." We will now hear the words from some of our older poets who have made it to high school, and we will hear the ways in which they have invested in poetry as a means of helping us to understand what they see, what they are experiencing, and also to challenge us. I hope that as you listen, you will think about the ways that the world can be different than what it is that we see right now because of something that you hear. We have seen that words are powerful and that they can make change.
Cross Stitch by Amelia Gottschalk. Death holds the needle. Life is the thread that pokes stars through the embroidery hoop of the sky, stitching constellations and writing words. Tendrils of twine curve and braid into each other, fasten, faster, fastened within ourselves. My heart is the needle, my blood the thread. I am twisted together with lines of fiber, my every inch. My skin is the hoop. I'm embroidered into my world. Twist, taut, twisted. My blood is warm and woven. The river of vessels throughout me run far. My hair to nerves to neurons. I'm crisscrossed and cross-stitched.
Hi, my name is Avery Kennedy, and I'm 14 years old. Ode to Summer. I wake up to watch the sunrise as I sit on the roof. The summer sun keeps my skin warm. The yellows, oranges, and reds dance across the sky. I make breakfast for my family in no rush. I have no worries. We sit at the table outside by the poolside. I change into my bright blue swimsuit. The pool is 87 degrees. My brothers jump into the pool, splashing water everywhere. We swim all day until the sun goes down. We are red as tomatoes. Turning the showers cold, hoping it helps the sunburn. We are exhausted, but we go to bed knowing we can do it tomorrow.
Hello, my name is Rixon Sana, and the title of this poem is Emmett Wore His Father's Ring. Lewis bought a little ring, little ring, little ring. Lewis bought a little ring while fighting in the war. Lewis wore it everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Lewis wore it everywhere. This ring shines so bright. Lewis died across the sea, across the sea, across the sea. Lewis died across the sea. The ring came to his wife. Emmett was their only son, their only son, their only son. Emmett was their only son, and Lewis' ring he wore. In August, he went down south, went down south, went down south. In August, Emmett went down south with his father's ring on. In the store, he bought some gum, bought some gum, bought some gum. In the store, he bought some gum and whistled at Carolyn. Then he was snatched away at night. Away at night, away at night. Then he was snatched away at night and taken on a ride. His corpse was found in a river. In a river. In a river. His corpse was found in a river. The river washed the blood. When Mamie saw her battered boy, her shattered boy, her lifeless boy, when Mamie saw her lifeless boy, Mamie began to wail. The river didn't take the ring, take the ring, take the ring. The river didn't take the ring, only thing that she could hold.
My name is Seung-hee Lily Ha, and I am 15 years old. Neverland, memory, clay entering kiln. It sits at the edge of the highway at 52nd Street, just a few miles south of Gerald's Donuts, and the decapitated stop sign some kids tried to steal before the police caught on, and probation was the consequence of the misbehavior of their actions, the effect of the cause. The tree has grown taller, its roots deeply embedded in the soil. Since when last seen? Since when last visited? The home grounds are unfamiliar. My hometown a blaze of lost memories, scattered recollections. I feel a smile, pulling, tugging at my face, the dark hue and rough patches of pure skin that scar me silently. My dimples, visible with firm reassurance, the indents by my lips, have not yet abandoned my laughter without the reflection of a mirror to confirm my gaze. The soil feels dampened under the wearing soles of my well-worn secondhand sneakers, with loose cloth tearing at edges of my heels. Smushed dirt beneath my shoes, like water-pressed clay before drying out, before entering the kiln, before hardening its layer to solid, where mud turns to mug, vase, bowl, dish, and glazed polished, coated once, coated twice, its clear layer turns to glass.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Burgess and I am 16 years old. Wavy brown hair. Caramel, like the crayon color, had a sudden burst into vivid reality. Caramel brown eyes. Average, ordinary, typical, unfortunate, but tolerable. Because if you think about it, ordinary has many different meanings. The 5-year-old pulls out their brand new box of crayons, clenching the sky blue, scraping the paper ferociously. Their mother's gentle warning comes from in the distance, back and forth, gently. So they grab the sunflower yellow, drag it neatly to the corner of the page, draw the sun and its elegant rays, an ordinary summer day. But art has a mysterious aspect that even ordinary things can become extraordinary in the snap of a finger. It's in the eye of the beholder. The same child works on the stick-thin body, arms, legs, head, reaches gently for the caramel brown, hair, eyes, snap! The tears begin to fall. Their mother walks over, and what did she do? She said, "No one ever told you that broken crayons couldn't color." The sniffles slowed, and they reached once more. Tip of crayon, top of paper, new perspective. New perspective. Maybe ordinary isn't so bad. And caramel brown can be more than typical. Maybe when we see dreary or broken crayons in ourselves, others see art, beauty, masterpieces, and our broken blunt tip features quickly revert to the brightest colors on the page. Bright is not bad, unfortunate. And it's much more than tolerable. It's extraordinary.
My name is Annie Wu, and I am 16 years old. The title of my poem is Girlhood After the Storm. Silent is the storm, cold and sober, solemn and somber, that which clutches the pearls of our youth in its limber fingers, plucked fresh from the shells of our once innocence. A storm that is a woman with blue lips and pliers to wrench us open and examine our comfort, only to tear it from us, to string us up around her neck and say that the flayed open cadavers of girlhood can be beautiful. A storm, a woman who must have seen our downy feathers and soft, fragile bone, bird-like yet still grounded, anchored to our homes and our unfettered faith. She is the gale force wind that comes to push us out the tree, and the one that stares at our adolescence with dispassionate, empty eyes. A nest, a one's home fallen from its resting place. Silent is the storm which learned to be this way. She is a cruel teacher, one who has only ever taught the way she learned, quiet that crept into her mouth with the fever of infection, an inflammatory wound that never healed clean. Never rid her of her quiet no matter how the water scalded, how long she scrubbed. Silence which likes to teach itself through generations, where it was more comfortable to create likeness than question the roots of our own reticence, where it was easier to let scars grow over and over, another veneer of tissue on another body, another part of some young girl's anguish. where the only ataraxia for our ancestors was the coffin and the hearse, sore is the storm that wreaks havoc on our poor souls. The youth and its water, our pearl and our shell, our home and our wings. Sore must be the storm that bound our sea and our sky together to tether us to land, a lightning strike to hammer home her own trauma. Each of our foremothers' griefs wrapped and tucked into the joints of our skeleton, heavy and haunting, clawing their own way back out our skin, manifested as a rippling of new scar tissue, echoes of once hurts. Sore is the storm that got comfortable in the cycle, and all the women before her who found air only after their last breath, each small grief we commiserate with, and each one we grow into.
Hey, my name is Liala Wasanga. I'm 17 years old, and I attend Kenwood Academy. I'm here to recite my poem, It Doesn't End Until You Do, and I hope you enjoy. I'll never forget the day when I walked up to that cold, frozen, still, silent body. I didn't know what to say. My childhood, my interests, all lay within him. Now that he's gone, am I gone too? Everything I did was to impress him. All he did for me was help me. A kind soul. You could be yelling and cursing him out and he'd still say sorry when it wasn't even his fault. He was a giant, but was gentle. He taught me how to edit videos, something that I still love to do till this day. So when I found out he was gone, I didn't know what to say. The day was so normal. Pollen flying everywhere, kids playing, the sun was warm, the sky was baby blue, and then like a burst of lightning and light rain, my father tells me he's gone. That was the first time I lost someone close, and unfortunately, it wasn't the last. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Liliana Green. I am 17 years old, and I will be reading my poem, I'm Smiling Under My Mask, inspired by Say Thank You, Say I'm Sorry by Jericho Brown. Who is the girl with the orange and pink hair who I compliment every time I go through the Starbucks drive-thru? I only ever see half of her face. Who is the man who stands at the intersection between Hollywood and Sheridan, his suit coat and top hat fitted with a plume, always dapper and singing his own tune? Who are the girls at the track meets, always oversharing and bonding over nerves? We exchange compliments and lace up our spikes, becoming best friends for a fleeting moment before we run away. Who is the father who sacrificed his shoe for our volleyball, stuck high in the branches at the beach? We could only thank him briefly. We had to retreat back to our separate setups to maintain distancing in the pandemic. All the interactions cut short and sweet, I long for the day when we can openly embrace one another, sharing smiles instead of elbow bumps. But for now, we squint over our masks at the world like we need sunglasses to see the state of the globe.
Hi, my name is Charlotte McManus. I'm 18 years old, and this is my poem, Stretch. It is quick. Most things are, or seem to be, like driving to my sister's and I catch a glimpse of a girl in her Jeep. She looks too young to afford a Jeep, but she is in a Jeep all the same, and I catch her with her mouth open. Smiling at something? Maybe at the world. Tumbles back into concrete and winter, and the dirt from the road flings itself onto the windshield, and I wonder where she is going, and why I wonder what she's going to have for dinner, and why I wonder when she is going to die, when she is going to bed, when my mother says, I swear this stretch gets shorter and shorter. We're at the exit already.
Hi, my name is Cindy Ha, and I'm 18 years old, and this is my poem, How to Make Spring Rolls. Spring rolls, summer rolls, no matter the weather, my family huddles together, our table overfilling, our eyes wandering, our hands busy. There is a process to this art, a step-by-step to this roll. You must start with rice paper dipped in cold water. It teaches patience, for you may be bitter and brittle, in need of much care, but with some time you'll be flexible too. Then you choose your meat, a pork belly here or a shrimp there, for life is only fulfilling when you are full. Next, place the noodles, bouncy, springy, resilient, just like you. Of course, you need vegetables, a little crunch to your life, a slice of cucumber, a sprig of mint, all to nourish you before you wilt. Tuck in the sides and roll, dip into your special sauce of just peanut butter and hoisin, a little salty to complement your tears, and a little nutty for the crazy. Here you have it, your own goiku. Enjoy!
What a powerful day. The opportunity to hear, to listen, to be challenged, to be inspired by these young people who are showing us so much determination and courage and creativity and joy. I hope that all of you are as inspired as I am. I'd like to close the day with some words from one of the poets who was a winner in 2019. This poem stayed with me because we have really been experiencing a challenging time in the world with the pandemic, and it feels like a storm. This poem is called Storm, and it was written by Tessa Pruden from the Children's School in Oak Park, Illinois. Storm, the hour where the sun is so rich and the night is so soon. The grass is dancing until the night falls. The glass gleams and makes a rainbow. The food on your plate smiles as the hour ends. The unsturdy windmill shivers in the cold, dark night. The lightning and thunder rock the earth. The rain rips at your coat with no success. The wind blows your hair to one side. You are in the midst of a blusterous storm. We have certainly been weathering a storm in the world. But one of the things that has helped us to weather the storm is the way in which we have learned to hold together, to listen to each other, to lean into our creativity. And so as we conclude the awards for this year, I hope that all of you will be empowered to face the storms that you see around you and to see the rainbows inside of them. Thank you.